Namaste, everyone. Christian Long, Life Enhancement Consulting, giving you a big and beautiful shout out on our Transformation Sunday, where we have our lecture, our meditation, our healing. And let's invoke and start off properly. Place your hands on your heart. Be aware of your heart. Be aware of your crown. Be aware of your heart and your crown together. To the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, respected and beloved teacher, Grandmaster Cho Koksui, Lord Mahaguru Jimeling, to Lord Buddha Kuan Yin, to Lord Ganesh, to all the holy gurus, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, to the angels of good health, vitality, purification, to our divine selves or higher souls, we humbly invoke for your divine light, love, and power, for your help, guidance, and protection, for inner and outer healing on all levels, especially physically and etherically. We thank you, Lord God. We thank you all with gratitude, respect, and love. So be it, so be it, and so it is. Thank you. Namaste, Indiana. Welcome. I see you just got out of the shower. You're so adorable. So, if you guys haven't figured out, today we're going to be talking about intermittent fasting. And when I say the word intermittent, it makes me think of intermittent, and I like the word mitten, but it's actually intermittent fasting. Okay. So, um, this is a topic that, funny enough, is actually near and dear to my heart. And the reason being is even before I was into meditation, even before I was into spirituality, I was into physical health. And I remember being 14, 15, 16 years old, being a little nerd, getting all my books at the bookstore, Barnes and Nobles, Borders. Barnes and Nobles is close to being out of business. Borders is out of business. It was a huge bookstore that was in New England when I was growing up. And one of my favorite things in the entire planet was to get in the car. I just learned how to start driving. To get in the car, drive about 30 minutes into Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. And it was symbolic. I don't know whatever you want to call, but there was a hill, a very high hill in that part of the state. And at the top of the hill was Borders, the bookstore. So it was like a beacon of light, inspiring me to, oh, there's all these things that I can learn and things I can know about and improvements I can make at this place. So I would literally go there for 6 or 7 hours and just read the books. Now, knowing what I know about generosity and not stealing, probably should have paid for more of the books than just going in, reading them, and putting them back on the shelf. Not my proudest moment, but I was young and didn't know any better at that time in my life. But a lot of the books that I would read from 14, 15, 16, 17 years old would be connected to health and wellness. And I actually became a personal trainer at the YMCA that I worked at in Worcester, Massachusetts. I was the youngest personal trainer in their 85-year history because at that time I was like an encyclopedia of health and wellness. So whenever people had a question, the other personal trainers, the fitness director, the aquatics instructor, um, they had a dietitian on site. They would ask me, "Hey, Christian, what is it?" And I just was able to pull out this information like a little encyclopedia. Um, I was like, this was pre Google. So it was interesting because when I was studying nutrition, um, books that had an impact on my life were The Zone Diet by Barry Sears, which, funny enough, a decade later, one of the masters in pranic healing was recommending that we follow that because it's based on the principle of what? Moderation and non-excessiveness. Interesting. Because it wasn't about extremes in your eating patterns. And then he would also mention, or another book that I was interested in was Eat Right for Your Blood Type, which was another common one. At the time, I didn't even know what my blood type was, so I was kind of reading the book, going, "Well, that's interesting," but I never knew what my blood type was, and I and even then, I didn't want to go and get my blood taken to find out what my blood type was because I had a huge fear of needles, and it wasn't even a fear of needles. It was the fear of not the fear, it was the evidence how I would feel as they were taking blood from me and how I would feel afterwards. It was like the worst feeling imaginable. So I never actually found out what my blood type. I think my mom told me at some point, but it's been so long ago, I don't even really know my own blood type. It's kind of funny. That being said, in all the years that I studied nutrition, I studied supplementation, I studied different kinds of diets. Now, paleo wasn't well known at that time, but obviously people have had different kinds of dietary restrictions or pathways for many, many years. You have the carnivore diet, you have the paleo diet, you have breatharians who don't eat anything and they just live off of prana from the sun and from air prana. You have everything in between: vegans, vegetarianism, all this different stuff. People attach their ethics, their morality to it. That was never the case for me. It was always, is this going to improve the quality of my fitness and my wellness? It was never about, okay, if I'm eating this, it's, hurting the animal kingdom. I didn't have that understanding. Now, as a spiritual practitioner and as an Arhatic yogi for 17 years, it is connected to suffering, right? Grandmaster Chola Koksui, the modern founder of Pranic healing and Arhatic yoga, says that human beings have caused a tremendous amount of suffering to the animal kingdom. So a way that we don't add to that suffering is we become vegetarians. Now, energetically speaking, meat vibrates lower and slower than fruits and vegetables, right? So I noticed as I continued to move up in my Arhatic practice over the years that if I were to eat meat, it would affect me stronger and longer in a negative sense. I would feel very, very heavy. So I was doing these very high meditation practices. My energy channels or my nadis were very open and expanded, and lots of prana was flowing in and out of them. And then if I ate something that was heavy and dense, it would start to clog those meridians or those energy channels, which I didn't really appreciate for many, many years, partly because I wasn't sensitive enough. I wasn't sensitive enough to what meat was actually doing to my practice. So, an example that's been given in pranic healing, that if you have a country road, like a small road in the middle of nowhere that only one or two cars can go on, and somebody drops a piece of furniture or refrigerator on that road, is it going to destroy all the travelers on that road within that area? No, because they'll just drive around the furniture, drive around the refrigerator, and they'll go about their merry way. Now, if you have a 6-lane highway and you drop that same refrigerator or that same couch, what is it going to do? It's going to stop everything, and you're going to have miles and miles and miles of traffic. True or not true, right? So that's what it's like on the spiritual path, connecting it to our food. When our energy channels expand, we are conduits for more prana to move up and down those energy channels. So when we eat things, it clogs those channels, which causes great havoc, versus someone with small channels that doesn't have a lot of energy flowing through it. It's not that big of a deal. Now, right before I got on to, I prep these talks and these energies and what have you. And right before I got on, something dawned on me, because at this point in my life, my body is 40 years old. At this point in my life, I've realized food affects me more now consciously than any other point in my life. And I remembered what about almost 2 years ago, one of the master pranic healers said, at this level of Arhatic yoga, the most important thing that you have to be aware of is your diet. And I was like, so now, 2 years into it, I'm having the realization. Just kind of within the past couple months, I'm having the realization. So I understand how sugar can affect somebody's body, because I've been hospitalized not once, not twice, but 3 times because of sugar. Literally hospitalized, because when I was living in New Jersey, And I basically I worked in New York City, so I would live in Jersey City and then travel or commute to New York City at that time, and I was working at a chocolate restaurant. Now, I'd been exposed to sugar my entire life. I grew up in a family that sugar was very, very part of our daily sweet breakfast. Then we would have lunch and dessert after lunch. Then we would have dinner and dessert after dinner. And then we would have sweet snacks throughout the day. It just was what it was. It was, my father was very unhealthy, and it was food was his pacifier. It was like his safety blanket, right? Because he came from an extremely stressful upbringing and being in Vietnam and post-traumatic stress disorder and alcoholism and all the different things that were wrapped up in that, seeing people killed, him killing other people, seeing people killed outside of the military. My father had a lot of stress. So food was always a coping mechanism for his emotional body. So he would feel anxiousness and then he would eat. I probably, in some way, shape, or form, took on those mannerisms because I grew up in a very stressful home environment. And then my mother, same exact way, even though I stopped living with my mother when my body was 5 years old. But whenever I would spend time with my mom, I always saw her struggling with food, struggling with her weight, and eating a lot of sweets. And it was always when she would sit and eat sweets, or my father would sit and eat sweets, it wasn't this like relaxing, enjoyable experience. It was full of anxiety and anxiousness and not being satiated, right? So I'm like that. My brothers are like that. But my whole life, I've had sugar in my system, and I didn't know how it was affecting me for better or for worse. So when I was in New York City working at this chocolate restaurant, because I have a sweet tooth, right? I identify with the person who has a sweet tooth. And so I would eat sweets, and I was in an extremely stressful environment, just covering from a divorce, um, in a new relationship, living in a new state, um, doing lots of service for the Pranic Healing Center, like so many different newness. It's called eustress. You have stress that is not so good for you, and then you have stress that is exciting, like visiting a new country is exciting, which creates eustress, but the body can respond similarly to not so good stress, right? So all of these new factors, and I'm eating lots of sugar, and I started drinking coffee. And at that point in my life, late in my early 30s, I never really drank coffee ever. So when you drink coffee, what do you typically have with it? Cream and sugar. So coffee, caffeine, sugar, cream, which affects digestion, right? Then I'm working 60 hours a week in a restaurant, getting home at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and then eating sugar before work, during work, and after work. And because you're in the restaurant business industry, you don't really have time to have like meals, normal meals. So you're like this. So literally, I was crazy for about 3 years. I wasn't working at the chocolate restaurant for 3 years, but habits of eating sugar were in my system. And it was so bad that I would be literally at several times have just my underwear on, and I would be stumbling around the streets at 2 o'clock in the morning. No shirt, no shoes, no socks, no pants, just my underwear, walking around the neighborhood, confused, disorientated, angry, right? No idea what it was. I was looking at the factors. I go, well, maybe I need to be healed of stress, or maybe it's the divorce, maybe it's missing my son, maybe it's all of these factors, and I never looked at the sugar factor. So I had so many people say to me in pranic healing, hey, maybe you should, I don't know, reduce your sugar intake. And at the time, what am I going to do? It's not sugar. I've been eating sugar my whole life. I'm fine. Little did I know I had emotional problems my entire incarnation, right? So kept eating sugar, kept getting worse, kept getting worse. And then it got so bad that I ended up going into the hospital 3 different times. The longest time I was in the hospital for 8 days. 8 days, they had me, they were, I got my wish. They took my blood. I never asked them what my blood type was, but they took my blood every single day because they were putting me on medication. They never asked me about nutrition. They never asked me about my lifestyle. They never asked me about any stressors. They just said, he's acting erratically. We don't know why he's acting erratically. And we're going to, it's called Baker acting somebody, when you force somebody to go under medical supervision for their own safety. But they never actually did anything. They just kept me under watch and medicated me for 8 days. And after that, they gave me 3 kinds of medications to help me with sleep, to stabilize my mood, and to help with depression because they had no idea what it was, and neither did I at that point. So, a year into it, I'm on medication, and my solar plexus chakra feels like it's coated in a blue box because I could see it. I wasn't a trained clairvoyant at that time, but I could see it and I could feel it. And then I conversed with one of my mentors, and he says, yeah, that's actually a very accurate description. So my emotional body wasn't able to expand for better or for worse, right? So I wasn't able to have these huge outbursts. I wasn't able to get super angry, but the same time, my sense of humor wasn't there, and I couldn't experience joy and bliss and happiness. And my meditations were very, very different. So didn't know it was sugar until I moved to Denver. And then after, something told me, something whispered to me, looking back, it was the higher soul, said, just eat um, just eat apples and almonds. Just eat apples and almonds. I was like, why would I just eat apples and almonds? All right, well, whatever. No idea why. So I just did that. Apples and almonds. I did that for 6 weeks. And then something happened. My mental clarity improved. My a radical emotionality went away. Everything improved. Not one area of my life didn't improve, but I didn't have the realization. All I thought was, wow, I'm able to think clearer. I feel better. I was able to sleep better. All these improvements happened. And then I went to Wendy's, it's a fast food place in the US. Went to Wendy's and I said, I'll take a chicken sandwich, some French fries, and a tiny Frosty. A Frosty is like a little tiny ice cream specific to Friendlies. Super small, like this big. So I'm eating the chicken sandwich, no problem. I'm eating the fries, no problem. I'm eating the smallest, the kiddie size, the smallest ice cream you can possibly get from this place. Finish eating it. 30 minutes later, all of a sudden, all the pain, physical pain, and emotional pain that I experienced 2 years prior started to come out. And it was in that very moment that I realized the effect sugar had on my entire life. It's like it all congealed in one moment in time. That one experience of eating that little teeny tiny ice cream put together 32 years of understanding and 32 years of experience and 32 years of awakening right there in that moment. And it forever changed my life. It was one of the most profound realizations I've ever had, because from that point on, I reduced my sugar intake by about 85%. And life has only gotten better since that. Now, other awareness has come into play. So why am I sharing all this? What is the purpose of this? Is medicine is food and food is medicine. And I did not have the awareness of the things I was putting into my mouth, how it was affecting me physically, emotionally, and psychologically. And so now with my next level of practice, I'm realizing other levels of truth and other levels of understanding. And so I've been studying. It's interesting. The past 6 months, I've been doing something indirectly known as intermittent fasting. Didn't even know that's what I was doing. But I would wake up in the morning, instead of my normal routine of having coffee or having a bowl of oatmeal or something like that, eggs, whatever, nothing. I would just wake up in the morning and not have anything until 10, 11, sometimes noon. And that had never happened before. And I was wondering what was going on. And then I started talking to some people that are in the health and wellness world, people that follow me on Facebook that's their area of expertise. And I was talking to them about it, and they said, "Oh, well, you're doing intermittent fasting." And so I started looking into intermittent fasting. And I go, "Huh, I'm unknowingly in alignment with that." And then I started doing more research. And so some of the benefits of intermittent fasting: better sleep, better digestion, reducing inflammation, strengthening the immune system, reversing a fatty liver. You can literally reverse a fatty liver. And a fatty liver comes about through improper diet or excessive alcohol consumption. Um, once your liver, I would disagree with what we know in pranic healing, but in general, a fatty liver can be reversed. But if you have scar tissue on your liver called cirrhosis of the liver, that is not reversible. So that's what happens with many alcoholics, and that's what causes many alcoholics to end up dying: cirrhosis of the liver. And the liver actually has 500 different functions, so it's a pretty important organ. Fasting develops the willpower. So, interestingly enough, in the MCKS Meditation Center in Bovina, New York, in the main house, for years and years and years and years, somebody remade the sign, but for years and years, it was just this little teeny tiny printout, like just black ink, black ink. It wasn't like framed. It wasn't nice. It was just like somebody printed something out and then just had tape and stuck it to the wall. And it was like that for years, like probably 6 or 7 years. And it was a quote by Master Choa Koksui that says, um, fasting develops the willpower. Fasting develops the willpower because when you fast, it's you as the soul controlling the body, because the body wants to eat, because the body is used to consuming calories throughout the day. But if you are the soul, you tell the body, I know you're hungry, but I am not you. I am the soul and I am controlling you. So you tell the body when it's going to eat, when it's going to wake up, when it's going to snack, when it's going to drink water, when it's going to do whatever, right? You are the soul, you are the divine will aspect controlling the body, versus you succumbing to the will of the body, right? So the body's like, "Oh, I want to eat." And it's like, "No, we're going to wait." And that's so intermittent fasting helps with that. But Master Choa recommends one day out of the week, you don't eat anything. You drink water, hydrate the body, but in general, one day a week, you just don't eat anything. So that is strengthening the will aspect within you. So if you're a person who is easily tempted and you don't practice a lot of will, the best will is to start with the body. Because if you can start controlling the will of the body, you can control the will of the emotions and the will of the mind. So the controlling the body through fasting is a great practice in will. And then improved brain function. So and I'm going to send you guys 3 different videos to give you the science and background. They're short. Well, one video is basically a gentleman he's a doctor. Him and his wife own something called the True North Healthcare. I think they're out of California, and they've been doing fasting with over 20,000 patients since 1985. So that's their area of expertise. So I'm going to send you that. It's about a 50-minute clip, and then the other 2 clips are about 10 minutes. But it will give you the science, the background, the deeper details than what we're going to be providing here. My job is just to plant the seed into your consciousness and go, I never considered fasting. I never considered the benefits of fasting. What would that look like? And so I'm kind of giving you what would that look like? So in general, the ideal is to fast every single day. Intermittent fasting is every single day of no eating for 16 hours and then your window of eating is 8 hours. Your window of eating is 8 hours. And so they recommend 2 to 3 meals within that time period. No snacking. So again, all the different viewpoints, the different types of diets, veganism, vegetarianism, paleo, the zone diet, all these different types of eating styles, all of them, all of the research supports intermittent fasting. Every one of them, which is quite fascinating because in the world of health and wellness and nutrition, it seems like everyone contradicts everyone all the time. But the consistent thing is fasting. I have a friend who did 40 days of fasting. The longest you can do fasting, as I understand it from this doctor, is 70 days before you go into starvation mode. So that means 70 days of just drinking water with electrolytes, you can go 70 days. Past that, you get into starvation. So, as I was looking at the research, benefits don't, the benefits I'm seeking, everyone is seeking different benefits, right? The benefits I'm seeking don't kick in until about 36 hours into a fast. So 36 hours of just water and electrolytes, that's when the benefits I'm seeking will kick in. For you, it could be 24 hours, it could be 72 hours, it depends. It's recommended to do a 7-day fast once a year. So a lot of the experts in fasting, they do once a year, 7-day fast. So just water, electrolytes, maybe some other kind of supplementation, but in general, just water and electrolytes for 7 days. And then however amount of time that you fast, you take half of that amount of time to get back to normal eating. So if you fast for 7 days, it's going to take you about 3.5 days to get back into normal eating. You don't go fast for 7 days and then the eighth day you just start eating like you normally do. There's a ramping up period. Oops. Whoa. You guys, sorry, you put in a lot of things here. You can figure that out. I'm the universal typo. Distress. Yes. Heavy sugar family. Hyper too. Interesting. Apples, almonds are regenerating. Love them. That's my experience. I don't know why I didn't see you guys' comments come up at all until right now. It's been my experience that body functions optimally without sugar. What's interesting, because something I've been sold, and this was my misunderstanding, and also the sources I was checking, is people who think a lot, people who use their brain a lot, you use a lot of glucose or sugar in the brain. But what's interesting is it's better to have the what's more sustaining for brain activity are ketones, which we get from broken down glycogen from the liver, which fasting helps with that, interestingly enough. Sugars added many things. Yeah, and I was studying the blue zones in the the late 90s, the blue zones, the parts of the world where people live the longest and what makes them live the longest. And the food's different because they go, well, wait a minute, we keep talking about pasta as such a bad thing. What about the pasta in Sardinia? It's completely different pasta. It's completely different. Has different properties. So it doesn't have the same effect on the glycemic index of the body. I fasted today until 1 p.m. That girl. So you can also do, yes, you can do 12-hour fast, 14-hour fast, 16-hour fast. Correct. Yes. Yes. So most people that do fasting regularly, they fast 16 hours a day. So that's what the doctors were recommending, that you move to that point and sustain that for the rest of your life. So it's not something that you just experiment with for a couple weeks or a couple months. It's something you do as part of your daily practice. Like, okay, I only eat from this time to this time. That's it. And then the rest of the 16 hours, no eating, just hydration and electrolytes. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I hope that helps. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys got inspired. Um, I'm in the process of officially, because I've been doing it indirectly, and then I came to Montana, and it's been a bit different. But I'm going to be changing many things in my diet because if I want to go higher, which I do, the limiting factor is the body. So if my body's not doing well, if the nutrition that's going into this body is not helping it function, it's going to be more and more difficult to go higher and higher and higher. Because as the nadis continue to expand, the energy that goes into those nadis needs to be more subtle, more refined, and more appropriate for that person. And sugar is the thing that is every single one of them, without exception, said that sugar almost entirely needs to be removed from the diet, especially processed sugars. The only sugar that has not really adversely affected me to my awareness has been Truvia. So basically, Truvia is erythritol and stevia. I don't like the taste of stevia in just stevia form, but that's the only sweetener that doesn't really have negative effects to my blood sugar. But coconut sugar, refined sugar, brown sugar, honey in most cases doesn't, because people say, "Yeah, put honey in your coffee." I it doesn't work for me, and I don't like the taste of honey in my coffee either. Okay, so the hardest thing to do, yeah, because the effect of sugar on the brain is similar to cocaine on the brain, and the addiction to sugar is stronger than cocaine. I can only imagine what my life would have been like if over the past 9 years I didn't know about sugar. So if I went another 9 years, continuing to go higher in my practice, and another 9 years of too much sweets, couldn't imagine. I don't want to imagine actually. What we got? Oh, monk fruits. I'm trying to remember. I think I've done monk fruit maybe once or twice, and I didn't like the taste of it. Mm, yeah, it's all around us every day. Yeah, coconut sugar inflames me almost immediately. It's for me, my experience, coconut sugar is the same as refined sugar. Whenever I eat coconut sugar, my joints, my bursa sacs, and my everywhere just becomes super inflamed. So I stay away from coconut sugar. But that's just it's my karma. It is what it is. Some people can eat and not be so affected. Everyone's affected, but some people aren't very affected by the things that go into their mouth. That's not my karma. Okay. So let's do our exercises. 2 songs, right? 2 songs because this is a fuller day. And let me pause this because we're playing music. Welcome back, everyone. Hopefully, you did your exercises. We had to pause because of copyright infringements when we upload the video. All right. So sit comfortably. Again, we talk about proper positioning when you meditate. You want to have a straight back. You don't want to be leaning against anything. You want to either be sitting in half lotus, full lotus, or have your left heel underneath your perineum. So if you're sitting in a chair, you just slide your left foot back. You have your tongue in the roof of the palate throughout the whole meditation. And then when we picture the brilliant point of light 12 inches above the crown, you want to look up. Okay. And now we'll do our breathing. 6-3-6-3 breathing. In the nose, out the nose. Smooth, rhythmic, and quiet. As you inhale, the belly goes out. As you exhale, the belly goes in. So be still, be aware. I'll count for the group. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the nose. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Exhale through the nose. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Breathe normally. Be aware of the stillness inside of you and outside of you. Place your awareness on the crown. Mentally follow me with awareness. I am the soul. Affirmation by Grandmaster Choa Koksui. I am the soul. I am not the body. I am not the emotions. I am not the thoughts. I am not the mind. The mind is just a subtle instrument of the soul. I am the soul. I am a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, and divine power. I am one with my higher soul. I am that I am. I am one with the divine spark within me. I am a child of God. I am connected to God. I am one with God. I am one with all. This is the truth, regardless of the brain's capacity to experience the truth. I am the soul. We are one. We are one. We are one. Separation is an illusion. There is only oneness. Oneness with God. Oneness with all. We are one. We are one. We are one. Be still, be aware. Raise your hands in blessing. Be aware of your heart, the center of your hands, and the earth. Mentally follow me. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Let the entire earth, every person, every being be blessed with peace, with love and sweetness, with pardon and forgiveness. Mentally affirm, I forgive and I ask for forgiveness. Imagine the people that have hurt you recently or in the distant past. Recognize that we are all in the process of growing and evolving. We all make mistakes. Mentally say, I forgive you. I wish you a better life. I wish you learn your lesson. Go in peace. I release you. Cut. Go in peace. Imagine the people that you've hurt in the recent or distant past. See them in front of you. Mentally affirm, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I have learned my lesson and will not make the same mistake again. I ask for your forgiveness and I accept your forgiveness. Thank you. So be it. I forgive and I ask for forgiveness. So be it. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is doubt, faith. Imagine the people throughout the entire planet that are going through difficult times, that are suffering, that are in physical pain, financial pain, psychological pain, and shower these souls with hope and faith. You can do it. You can make it. You can do it. You can make it. With God, all things are possible. So be it. So be it. So it is. So be it. Where there is darkness, light, sadness, joy. See the planet luminous, super, super bright, glowing like a miniature sun, dispelling the darkness, the ignorance around the planet. So be it. So be it. So it is. Be aware of your crown, your hands in the earth. Be aware of the expansion of your crown. Feel your crown stretching, receiving more of the divine energies from above. O Divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, and to be loved as to love. See yourself consoling others in their time of need, giving that person a kind word, a hug, a piece of useful advice, radiating your own light to awaken the light within them. So be it. So it is. Be aware of your heart and your crown together. Be aware of gold and energy pouring out of your hands going to the earth. Now, now, now. For it is in the giving that we receive. It is in the pardoning that we are pardoned. And it is in the dying that we are born to eternal life. See the golden energies circling the globe and enveloping the globe. Healing the planet. Healing all sentient beings. Healing all the different kingdoms. Continue to open your heart and your crown. So be it. Amen. St. Francis of Assisi. Gently lower your hands in your lap, palms facing up. Be aware of the love in your heart. Inhale. Be aware of 12 inches above your crown. Exhale. Send the loving energy up to the 12th chakra. Be aware of your heart. Be aware of the love in your heart. Really feel it. Allow yourself to connect with it. Inhale. Be aware of 12 inches above the crown. Exhale. Send all the loving energy to the 12th. It's getting brighter and brighter and brighter. Again, be aware of your heart. Inhale. Be aware of 12 inches above the crown. Exhale and stay there. Allow your consciousness to bathe in the light of the soul. Notice what's happening. As you hear the mantra Om, be aware of the gap, the space, the stillness in between each Om. Allow yourself to let go. Allow yourself to expand. Be still. Be aware. Let go now. Maintain your stillness and awareness. Mentally affirm, I, the soul, am super conductive and super receptive to the divine blessings and healing energies now. Slowly and gently come back. Slowly and gently come back. Move your hands, your fingers, your feet, your toes, especially your feet and your toes. Raise your hands in blessing. Let's release all the excess energies. With the blessings of God and Grandmaster Cho Koksui, let the entire earth, every person, every being, be blessed with divine light, divine love, divine power, with help, guidance, and protection, with material and financial abundance, prosperity, and great, great success. Blessings be to all, healings be to all, without exception. So be it. So be it. So it is. With the blessings of God and Grandmaster Cho Koksui, let pranic healing, Arhatic yoga, the twin hearts meditation, and higher teachings spread properly, rapidly, enthusiastically throughout the entire planet to alleviate the suffering of mankind, to transform humanity, to uplift humanity. So be it. Let all the books, courses, CDs, instructors in whatever form be divinely guided and divinely protected. So be it. So be it. So be it. Let's bless the week. Imagine each day in front of us. With the blessings of God and Grandmaster Cho Koksui, let this coming Monday be blessed with divine light, love, and power. With emotional calmness and stability, let Monday be blessed. So be it. Let this coming Tuesday be blessed with divine light, love, and power. With physical strength and vitality, let Tuesday be blessed. So be it. Let this coming Wednesday be blessed with divine light, love, and power. With happiness and joy of proper communication of all the people we interact with on Wednesdays. So be it. Let this coming Thursday be blessed with divine light, love, and power. With prosperity, abundance, and great, great success. Let Thursday be blessed. So be it. Let this coming Friday be blessed with divine light, love, and power. With joy, with fulfillment, with ease. Let Friday be blessed. So be it. Let this coming Saturday be blessed with divine light, divine love, and divine power. Let us properly and rapidly learn our material and spiritual lessons. Let Saturday be blessed. So be it. Let this coming Sunday be blessed with divine light, love, and power. With great, great success of a new beginning, of a new week. Let Sunday be blessed. So be it. Shower the entire upcoming week with golden energies. All the environments, all the people, ourselves included, fill with gold. 24 karat and more. Gold, 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 gold. So be it. Imagine your friends and your family members in front of you. Shower them with pink and gold energies. May each and every one of them be blessed with divine light, love, and power, with happiness and joy, with good lives, with lives that have meaning and purpose. So be it. So be it. So it is. And then imagine an area of your life that needs extra energy, extra blessings. It could be financial, physical, emotional, psychological, spiritual. Imagine that area in front of you now. With the blessings of God and Grandmaster Cho Koksui, may this area be flooded and filled with the right amount of energies, the right kinds of energies for it to materialize properly, rapidly in their holy names. So be it. So be it. So it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Stay alive. Have your hands facing down towards the ground. Be aware of the base of your spine and soles of your feet. Roots of golden light are going deep, 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 deep into the earth. 10 feet deep in all directions. Let Mother Earth be blessed. Let Mother Earth be rejuvenated, regenerated, and revitalized. Let Mother Earth be blessed with good air, good water, good earth, and good people. So be it. Let Mother Earth be blessed. Let Mother Earth be healed. So be it. So be it. And so it is. Place your hands on your heart. Be aware of your heart and your crown together. To the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, Respected and beloved teacher, Grandmaster Cho Kuksui, Lord Mahaguru Jamiling, to Lord Buddha Kuan Yin, to all the holy gurus, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, to the angels of healing, the angels of purification, the angels of nutrition and wellness, to our divine selves or higher souls, we thank you, thank you, thank you all for your great, 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 great blessings, for your soothing, healing energies now. So be it, so be it, so it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And slowly come back. How are you? How is your experience? Good? Nice. Indiana?
Yes. I'm a slow typist, so it's easier sometimes to talk.
Fair enough.
Okay. I saw myself floating as you were doing the healing. So, a wonderful sensation, really. I could even smell the lavender, the spikenard. It was wonderful, the energies you were using to heal today. I really, really feel so good, so healed. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
I do. It was wonderful. I appreciate you. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Good. Very good. Whom else? Adriana likes to type. She can't get enough of it.
I will try to speak, but I don't know if you can hear me.
Crystal clear.
Okay. Well, my body was a bit restless for some reason, but during the meditation and the silence after the healing, I felt my aura expanding a lot, a lot, a lot of expanding. And yeah, I feel very peaceful now. And I don't know, it's a very much different sensation than at the beginning of the meditation. So thank you.
So, was the beginning of the meditation rough?
I don't know, my body was a bit restless because maybe because I did more physical exercise, so it needed more time to rest, but it wasn't just that. It was or some kind of restless energy also.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you are doing the healing, it just felt expanding, like a lot of expansion.
Awesome. A lot of expansion. Yeah, you guys are definitely different. You look much, much different than when we started. Physically different. Good. Mission accomplished. Use the energies wisely. Just removing lifetimes, just piece of cake. Good. Good, good, good. Okay, so I'm gonna pause. Let's do our exercises so we assimilate properly. Unless you, Leaf, did you want to say or add anything?
Christian, every time, like since November, I'm on keto diet. I remove sugar from my life very, like extremely, and I realize, seriously mental clarity, and I don't crave food. I eat lots of walnut, almond, lots of club soda, and I'm still, like meat wise, I have to eat protein. I cannot eat, like eggs all the time because it's too much sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But I eat mostly, fish. I had to eat the other meat, even though I know it is lower vibration. I have to work on that. But and I keep doing practicing, the spiritual practice every day nonstop. And this, I'm reading and I am watching your videos. Your website is amazing. Amazing. Every day I am growing. I am And even today, after the healing, I am like overflowing. I feel like that, like I don't know how to express this, like I am just expanding, overflowing. I'm more positive, even though sometimes I'm about to lose. And I realize, okay, you know what? This is, I start, correcting myself, which is amazing. I'm so, so happy. This is an improvement. And never happened before in my life. And I'm so grateful and happy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
God teaches blessings, so you can radiate some of that bliss to all the engineers in your household. And it's interesting that so Elif is doing this move, right? That's actually the crown chakra is overflowing. So she's seeing it in the inner world and she's articulating it with her hands, but I'm helping you kind of make the connection. That's what's happening. So very good. Excellent. Think about where you'll be with 5 years of regular practice. The inner peace, the mental clarity, the other things that will come in, right? So just be diligent. That's all you just put one foot in front of the other and that's it. You'll be fine. Excellent. Good. All right.
I
Yes, go ahead,
also
Adriana.
wanted to add that I can breathe better now than before the meditation. And that says something, because I've been with COVID for the past weeks. So it's not just expansion of the etherical body, but it's more space in my lungs as well. So grateful for that.
It's also connected to the heart. So as the heart expands, the lungs expand and more prana can be absorbed. So the circulatory system and respiratory system are very connected with one another. So when you do twin hearts and you expand, it also affects the lungs.
Thank you.
Excellent. You're welcome. Shall we? Two songs, everyone. People at home too. Wait a minute, we're all at home. Welcome back, everyone. Hopefully you did your exercises properly and rapidly. So as a reminder, which was my fault, make sure on Sundays, every day preferably, but make sure on Sundays especially, you do the Tibetans, right? You do the Tibetans to absorb the energies. So couple viewpoints. So when you receive healing and you exercise in some way, shape, or form, you're consuming the healing energy to go towards your workout, right? Because you're consuming energy. But something like the Tibetans or mental physics, what you're doing is you're storing energy. You're not really consuming energy. So there's a bit of a difference, especially Tibetans, which is for activating the sex and activating the throat, the secret to longevity and youthfulness. So in general, when you receive a healing, whether it's a physical healing or psychological healing, don't go out and like, I'm going to do 50 minutes of strength training or cardio or something like that. Give your body a day to assimilate. But doing Tibetans and mental physics helps you assimilate. So you're not really consuming the energy as you would be if you were just, running in Daytona Beach or something like that. Okay. But as with all the stuff that we talk about, you're going to receive immediate benefit doing it one time, but the prolonged benefit is by doing it regularly, just like with anything in life. Interestingly, if you do the benefit of doing the Tibetan rites really kicks in of 30 days of regular practice, because you're going through what is known as the Ojas cycle that Ayurveda talks about. So when you consume food, in order for that food to be converted into Ojas, which is physicalized spiritual energy, takes about 30 days. It's called the Ojas cycle. The last step in the Ojas cycle before food becomes Ojas is seminal fluid, semen. So when you eat something, you digest it and you take care of what you've eaten, and your physical body is strong and healthy, and you do your Tibetans, you go through one Ojas cycle over a 30-day period. So it uplifts your consciousness, it nourishes all the different layers and levels of your physical and etheric bodies. So when men release, they're losing Ojas. It's similar with women, but not as profound and pronounced with women because they're naturally circulating the energy. Okay, so I hope that helps. Enjoy your Sunday, everyone. I will be posting something. I'll be posting all this in the groups, the Facebook group, as well as on Thinkific with the links. If you have any questions about it, let me know. And I recommend trying intermittent fasting and seeing what feedback you get from it. As with anything, doing it more than once or twice will be better feedback. So try it for a few months regularly and then see how it affects your physical body, your emotional body, and your mental body. Okay? Lots of love to you guys. Wait, you're very welcome, Indiana. Bye.